Continuing to consider written descriptions from historical authors, we are again considering something from Elmer Barber, or two descriptions with respect to the ribs. Now, one of these is for essentially both sides of the thoracic cage, or both sides of the ribs. The other one is for one side, and it will be somewhat obscure based on angle, but I'll make sure that I'm showing it as well as I can. So the first description, just bring both your arms up so I can grab your wrists. So I can grab your wrists. Right, so he talks about grabbing the wrist. So basically what he's talking about here is creating extension and lump through the thoracic column, as well as raising the arms so you're getting a bunch of relational pull on all the muscles, and then putting your knee in the patient's back. So this is how he says to work ribs. Right, this is somewhat awkward. The patient moves a lot. Right, you can go nice and slow, but it's basically doing the backstroke with extension for the patient. Because of the pectoral muscles, the serratus anterior, or the serratus magnus as you would read it in quite a few of those older texts, you're getting a lot of pull. So relatively the only thing you're keeping still here is the point at your knee. So wherever your knee goes into the thoracic column, that's the point that you're keeping still. And because you're keeping that still, everything moves somewhat in relation to it. But you can see it can be quite a messy method. It's a large method. If you wanted to do something like that, you could also just have the patient lift their arms up and take a deep breath, right? And you can hold on to them. You can place the patient, lay the patient towards the table, have them put their arms up on the table, right? Or against the wall, and then you can work on the ribs as well. Those are possible modifications. It's a very large movement. It's for a very large region, which is why it looks comparatively less controlled. The other method is essentially trying to flip the rib off the spleen, or really work on the ribs on the left side of the body. So he talks about having your right thumb on the offending rib, which would mean that if I want my right hand on a rib on the left side, I'd have to stand here, right? So I have to come over to the left side of the patient. Then my thumb can be on the rib, right, or on the ribs. You would have assessed this first. This method is something that you will see from quite a few practitioners. Barber being the first to write a book, this is the first description we have of it. It also has a picture, so it's a written description as well as a picture. But basically, you get a yoke hold, put it around the rib, you lift the arm up, you hold the rib relatively still, right? And as you bring it up, what he talks about is flipping the offending rib off the spleen. So what that would really look like is short lever. So you've got long lever, short lever for mixed leverage. So he just talks about bringing it back until tension's on it, and then as you bring it back, push on the rib. So in concert, it just looks like this till tension's on it, push through, bring it back, right? If there's a problem with the shoulder, it's not going to work as well as you want. That may not be the best place to do it. This may be better accomplished in lateral with the exact same idea. It's just the patient's in lateral and that side is up.